time, also for having caused a collision. Ticked him, of course, over the moon yesterday. He said before the weekend he knew that the Hungaroring better suited his driving style, and it certainly does. He says he always prays for a few drops of rain because he's often done well in these conditions. And if it doesn't happen very often, it did yesterday morning. A mistake on his penultimate lap put pressure on him, but he managed to put in a good final lap. Didn't expect it to be pole position, though. And in the race, it was hard to manage the 2 consecutive safety car periods, but he stayed focused and made it happen. Fenestraz said he knew that Daniel was fast. He tried to no avail to catch him on the opening lap. They really put in a hard effort on that going into the first corners, braking hard, but he just couldn't get through. Verhagen said, everything's new to me this season, and discovering these tracks for the first time is a big part of his learning process. Makes things a little harder, but he never backs down from a challenge. In seeing Daniel try to pull away from Sasha, I prepared a nice move on Gabriel Aubry, and the podium represents a step in the right direction, even though they haven't shown their full potential. So I really want to watch Neil Verhagen from MP Motorsport, the other Red Bull junior driver, as they prepare to head out with heat waves rising up off the track for the formation lap. And Sasha Fenestraz in pole position, warming up the tyres, followed by Gabriel Aubry. Coming into this race, Will Palmer still at the head of the provisional general classification with 144 points. Schwartzman now right behind him with 141 points. Fenestraz, 133. This weekend, if he does well, he could get up to the top of the table. Max Deforny on 78 points. Max, of course, putting in a brilliant performance in Monaco, but not so good here in these conditions. Maybe this track's not so well suited to him, but perhaps he had some other problems as well. In 5th position, Alex Peroni on 67 points on the championship table. But anything can happen. As we saw in the race yesterday, a total shake-up of the order here in the series at the Hungaroring. Quite a tricky track for all the drivers. A top speed 230 kilometers per hour, 34 gear changes per lap, 67% full throttle, highest G-force 2.05. Midpoint in the calendar, of course, still to come for the rest of the year. We've got the Nürburgring, the Red Bull Ring, Paul Ricard, Spa-Francorchamps, and Barcelona. So we're almost halfway through the series. Circuit length 4.381 kilometers, and there's about 16 laps per race. Well, there are 16 laps per race. 70 kilometers the distance. Fenestraz putting in a new record time earlier on Thursday, really putting in some lightning laps. So it's going to be really interesting to watch how Fenestraz does out there today. He couldn't quite get through yesterday into #1 position. Starting from pole, it's going to be very, very hard for anybody to attack Fenestraz as they line up on the grid and prepare for race 2 of this weekend, round 5 at the Hungaroring. Tension mounts as the cars line up on the grid. Green flag is waving, preparing for a start. The engines are roaring. And they're off for a start in race 2 at the Hungaroring. Sasha Fenestraz getting a clear start, but going on the inside, it's Gabriel Aubry. Aubry gets through on the inside. So does Palmer. Palmer has gone through. Heavy braking. Palmer still sticking on the inside as Fenestraz goes round on the outside. Fenestraz losing his pole position and dropping back into 3rd as they go through the first corners. Aubry in 1st position. Fenestraz attacking. Fenestraz right up behind him. We said that it was going to be hard to attack Fenestraz, but Aubry putting in a brilliant start. It's number 4, Gabriel Aubry, leading the pack from Will Palmer now in car 8. Sasha Fenestras dropped back to 3rd position. The rest of the pack coming through clean through the rest of the corners as they come round for their first lap. Gabriel Aubry in car 4 leading the pack from Will Palmer. Will desperately trying to hang on to his points to keep that championship lead. And what a turnaround for the start of this race, with Fenestras dropping back from pole to 3rd in the first couple of corners. He'll be seething. And on a track that he seems to be doing very well on, I think Fenestras might be going back on the attack in the next couple of laps. Let's keep a very, very close eye on what Fenestras does. Gabriel Aubry after 1 lap, 0.713 seconds ahead of Will Palmer. They're followed by Sasha Fenestras, Max Deforny, Schwartzman, Yifei Ye, the Chinese driver, and Max Vertrell, the rookie, in car number 7 in 7th position. Vartanyan in 8th position, followed by Korneve in 9th, and Ticktum back in 10th position. Ticktum, who won yesterday and took pole, quite a way off the lead, is 4.371 seconds off the lead for the moment. As Aubry pulls away in the lead. Gabriel Aubry in car number 4. French Tech 1 racing driver, also raced last year and the year before in the Renault 2.0 Eurocup. He finished 12th last year. He's been working hard on improving this year. Gabriel Aubry in car number 4. Digging the lead as the cars behind spread the pack as well. Fenestras putting the pressure on Palmer. Can Fenestras get back into 2nd position? It's strategically very important for Fenestras to get back in front of Palmer in terms of championship points. Fenestras currently on 133 points. Palmer at the top with 144. Coming back through past the far start-finish line. Almost 1 second lead for Gabriel Aubry, 0.922 seconds lead, followed by Fenestras, just 0.44 seconds behind Palmer. Fenestras keeping the pressure on, not attacking for the moment. Palmer having a tough day yesterday with problems with his accelerator pedal. That seems to all be sorted out now. Starting in 22nd position, got up to 12th and then dropped back down with more technical problems yesterday. The leader in car number 4, Gabriel Aubry. Ticked him in the Red Bull racing car. Back in 9th position at the moment, car number 33. That's Max Vertrell. Going through a nice clean line as they spread out on the track for race 2 of this weekend's round 5 of the Formula Renault Eurocup here in Hungaroring. Tech 1 racing team celebrating this weekend the birthday of one of their former drivers in the shape of Daniel Ricciardo, who raced with the team in 2009 and 2010 alongside Brendan Hartley, Charles Pic and Eduardo Mortara in the Formula Renault 3.5 series. Ricciardo will have been celebrating in style this weekend, especially after his win back in Azerbaijan. Well, here in Budapest in 2010, it was Ricciardo who took pole position and won the race one of the weekend. He headed on to take second in the championship that year, and the rest, of course, is history. But that race, the Aussie driver, of course, was all smiles, and I remember him saying, we said to him, keep that smile, because that's something that a lot of people lose when they go into Formula One. That starts getting too serious, and he's remembered that, and he's continued to smile. So we're happy to see Daniel Ricciardo celebrating his birthday this weekend with just as big a smile as he had back here at the Hungaroring 7 years ago. Aubrey leading by just under 1 second from Will Palmer. Randall back in 13th position. Randall, one of the new drivers on the track. The Australian International Open wheel star and reigning Toyota Racing Series champion is with us now to contest the remaining 6 rounds of the 2017 Eurocup Formula Renault 2.0 Championship, bringing the total number of Australians in the field to 5. That's more than any other country represented in the championship, which has no less than 14 nationalities racing. Randall got a late call-up to drive for the Adrian Valles-owned team, and he's commenced his race program here at the Hungaroring, having competed little more than an ergonomic fitting session just before and some simulator work with the team last week. Valles says he's happy to welcome Thomas to the team, and from the initial simulator testing, his results show that he's immediately up to Eurocup pace, while his previous results and winning the most recent TRS title support those findings. Randall says he's thoroughly excited to be racing in the remaining 6 rounds of the Eurocup Formula Renault 2.0 Championship with AV Formula. He says, after my title-winning success in the Toyota Racing Series at the beginning of the year, it's great to be getting back behind the wheel of an open wheeler again, and in such a competitive championship. Randall currently running in 13th position in race 2. Car number 16, as Gabriel Aubrey digs the gap, just over 1 second now ahead of Will Palmer. Fenestras lying in ambush just behind Will Palmer. Will Fenestras get back through into second position? Fenestras keeping the pressure on as they come back through. De Forney also keeping the pressure on Fenestras. It's a tight pack in the race for 3rd position and for 2nd. Coming back through past the start-finish line, Gabriel Aubrey still in the lead with 1.044 seconds. Gap back to Will Palmer. Just perfect conditions here at the Hungaroring. Sun shining. Fans out on the grass watching the cars, and up in the grandstands where it's very comfortable in the shade. Hungaroring is situated near Budapest. It's at a town called Magyarország. It's also, of course, where the Formula One Hungarian Grand Prix is held. And actually in 1986, it became the location of the first Formula One Grand Prix behind the Iron Curtain. At that time, Bernie Ecclestone wanted to race in the USSR, but a Hungarian friend said, why don't you do it in Budapest? And they originally wanted a street circuit, a bit like the Monaco circuit, to be built in downtown where there's a big park, but the government said, no, let's build a new circuit just outside the city, just near a major highway. And construction work started on the 1st of October 1985. It was built in 8 months, and that's less time than any other Formula One circuit. It's a twisty and bumpy track, makes it quite difficult for overtaking in dry conditions. The circuit's nicknamed Monaco without the buildings, just for this reason. Aubrey digging a nice gap out in the lead, 1.638 seconds now back to Will Palmer. Palmer not putting on any pressure to take the leading position, but Fenestras keeping the pressure on Palmer, just 2.2 seconds behind, and Deforney really just behind Fenestras as well. Schwartzman in 5th position. Aubrey back in Budapest, fresh from a hot weekend of racing in the first weekend of the Formula Renault Northern European Cup in Monza, actually. Aubrey won both races ahead of teammate Max Fertrell over there in Monza. He also topped all the timesheets in the run up to the race. But it wasn't easy sailing, as Fertrell was hot on his heels throughout, and really made for a great weekend's racing action there. Gabriel said, it's my first ever Formula Renault race win, and it feels great. It was really a good race, battling hard with Max in the first part of the race before the safety car. It was fair, close racing, but without contact, which is just what we want. The second part was just about pure pace, trying to go as fast as possible and make a gap to Max behind me. Well, the French driver with Tech 1 Racing was also racing last year and the year before in the Renault 2.0 Eurocup. He finished 12th last year. He's hoping to improve this year. Came into Hungary in 6th position in the championship with podium finishes in Monza and Po. Aubrey currently leading the pack here with over 2 seconds back to Will Palmer, followed just close behind by Sascha Fenestras and Max Deforney, then followed by Robert Schwartzman in 5th position, with just over 12 minutes left to run. Clean lines for Aubrey coming through. Palmer just not able to get back up with the lead. Content to stick with 2nd position. As long as he stays ahead of Fenestras, he's saying to himself, there's no point attacking Aubrey. If I go wrong, I'll lose my position in the championship table. But if I stay ahead of Fenestras, that's all I've got to do. So Will Palmer just protecting his position in 2nd position ahead of Max Deforney. Will Palmer leading the championship coming into the 5th round here in Hungaroring. As they came in yesterday, he had 144 points ahead of Schwartzman on 136. And now 144 points still. Schwartzman on 141 and Fenestras 133. Very tight for those first 3 positions. That's why it's so important for Palmer to stay ahead of Fenestras to keep the gap back to him. Schwartzman back in 5th position. So if Palmer can keep that 2nd position, that's going to be all important for him in terms of points in the championship. Deforney putting the pressure on Fenestras. Max Fertrell in car number 7. Bumpy curbs and 7. Fertrell going out for a bit of a slide through those corners, but hanging in there. The first rookie in the pack. Ticktum currently running as the 4th rookie. Ticktum not quite on the pace today. Also Neil Verhagen in 11th position in car 31. Yesterday's 3rd place getter, putting in a great position, a great race yesterday, moving all the way up from 9th position up to 3rd. Right now, Aubrey leading the pack from Palmer and Fenestras, with Deforney also putting on the pressure on Fenestras. You can see car 7 going out for a little slide there. That's Max Fertrell. Daniel Ticktum, yesterday's winner. Fenestraz starting from pole position. He's been keeping the momentum going this weekend, but just lost it at the start there. He put in a new category track record at the Hungaroring, dominating the two collective test sessions ahead of Schwartzman and rookie Yifei Ye. On Thursday, Fenestraz set the fastest time in private testing at 1:41.256. He went to the top of the charts in the first session before Schwartzman took back over, but Fenestraz answered back in the final two sessions. Reminded that in Monaco as well, 1 year after his first victory in the Principality, Fenestraz won the second race there as well, the curtain raiser for the Formula One Monaco Grand Prix. And that was the second time he'd won there. Starting from pole position, he took the honours ahead of Schwartzman and Will Palmer. Of course, he's got good memories here in Hungary as well. He was the junior winner of the British Formula 4 race in May 2015. Sasha Fenestraz. As car number 9, De Forney goes in the inside against Fenestraz. Doesn't quite get through. De Forney starting to put the pressure on. Fenestraz locking up there. He can feel the pressure from De Forney. De Forney looking to go through into third place and get a position on the podium. De Forney showing us in Monaco that he's not scared to go for the attack. And here he is again on the attack on Fenestraz. De Forney right behind, attacking Fenestraz. Putting the pressure on with just under 7 minutes to go. We've got Max De Forney in car number 9 putting pressure on Sasha Fenestraz. Waiting for the right moment to attack. It's a race for the podium for Max De Forney against Sasha Fenestraz. Sasha Fenestraz starting from pole position, but not able to hold off the attacks from Aubrey Palmer. And now De Forney looking like he might be able to get through into third position and hop up onto the podium. A very audacious driver, De Forney. Not scared to go on the attack. Dropping back a little bit as they come through the start-finish straight. 6 minutes left to run. De Forney right behind Fenestraz for third position. Keeping the pressure on in the downhill section. Penalty for Thomas Neubauer. Neubauer, who had a problem yesterday. Now he's also got a problem with the penalty for track limits. Car number 6, Tech 1 Racing. Keeping the pressure on Fenestraz. Not attacking for the moment, but the pressure is on. He's waiting for the moment. Just over 4 minutes left to run. In the last two races in Monaco, De Forney waited for just the right moment to go on the attack. It looks like he might do it here as well. De Forney right behind Fenestraz. De Forney coming in the inside. De Forney goes through on the inside. He's through into third position, but Fenestraz takes it back. He's side by side. Fenestraz defending his third position. They're still side by side coming through. Locking up on the brakes. And Fenestras keeps his third position for the moment. No, he's not. It's Deforny going on the attack. Fenestras just holding him off, and what a fantastic fight that was. Deforny's not going to let go. He's like a bulldog right behind. He's ready to attack again. Max Deforny right behind Sacha Fenestras in car number 11. Just like in Monaco, he's animating the race, Deforny. Waiting for another moment to pounce. Fenestras not wanting to let go of that third position. Penalty for Alex Matus in the AVF by Adrian Vallas car number 15. Also for track limits. Just a few laps left to run. And all the pressure is on for third position with Max Deforny keeping the pressure on Sacha Fenestras. As Gabriel Aubry prances out in the lead, more than 3 seconds ahead of Will Palmer in second. Palmer not going on the attack. He wants to keep that second position. He's going to play it safe all the way to the end of the race. But third position, Sacha Fenestras defending as he can against the dogged attacks of Max Deforny. Deforny right behind. The leader prancing way out in the lead. A good 3 seconds ahead of Will Palmer. Further back in the pack. Status quo. Schwartzman in 5th position, followed by Fautrell. In 6th, Ye in 7th, Vartanyan in 8th position, Ticktum 9th, and Cornave in 10th, and Verhagen, yesterday's third place getter, in 11th position. Alex Peroni, also the Australian driver, in 12th position at the moment. Less than a minute and a half left before the final lap. Will Max Deforny go on another attack before the end of the race? I wouldn't be surprised. It looks like Fenestras is keeping up the pace. Deforny no longer right behind for the moment. Will Deforny catch up now on the straight? Deforny behind Schwartzman, behind Fenestras. Fenestras knows that if Deforny gets right up behind him again, he could well attack in this last lap or so. Fenestras doing all he can to keep that third position, where at the start of the race he thought maybe he was going to just prance out in the lead right to the end. Well, he certainly didn't do that. Now he's worried about keeping his third position with Deforny on the attack. Will Palmer in second, followed by Fenestras and Deforny. It's Robert Schwartzman behind in car number 10. Schwartzman in second position on the championship table. In 5th position. There's also a penalty for Sun Yu Yang, the Chinese driver, for track limits. 10-second penalty for him. As they're on the final lap, and car number 4, Gabriel Aubry, prancing way out in the lead, more than 4.4 seconds ahead of Will Palmer. Gabriel Aubry, the man of this race. Who'd have thought that after the qualifying, Aubrey was not quite up to pace with the rest of them, but Aubrey today putting in a brilliant performance, pipping it through into first position in that first lap, along with Palmer just behind him, taking away the pole from Fenestraz. And now it's Gabriel Aubrey leading by well over 4 seconds from Will Palmer, the championship leader, and then back to Sacha Fenestraz just behind him. Max Deforny still on the attack, but looks like at this point Deforny's not in a position to attack Fenestraz. Let's take a look as they come through these final corners on the final lap of this second race of this weekend. Deforny not quite in an attacking position, keeping the pressure on. But it looks like it's too late at this point as caliber 4 of Gabriel Aubrey prances way out in the lead and prepares to take the checkered flag in race 2 of the 5th round of this series at the Hungaroring of the Formula Renault Eurocup. Great performance from the French driver. Gabriel Aubrey, Tech 1 Racing. Putting in a brilliant performance as he takes the checkered flag. Gabriel Aubrey goes through to take the checkered flag, well over 4.5 seconds ahead of Will Palmer, followed by Sacha Fenestraz, who manages to hang on to third position ahead of a dogged Max Deforny, who really wanted to get up onto the podium, didn't quite make it here in the Nürburgring. In 5th position, it's Robert Schwartzman, followed by Max Vertrell, Yifei Ye, Alexandra Vartanyan, and Daniel Tichtum, well back there in 9th position. As the Tech 1 Racing team celebrate in the pit lane, Gabriel Aubrey, winner of the second race at the Hungaroring. Also putting in a best time of 1:42.023 seconds. Aubrey very fast through the corners. After 16 laps, the victorious French driver waves to his fans on the way back to the pit lane. Aubrey picking up very valuable points on the table. As we came into this round, he was quite a way back on the championship table and will probably be very, very happy to take those 25 points in this race here today. Will Palmer, the championship leader, hanging on to his championship lead with this second position finish ahead of Fenestraz, who had been hoping to pip Palmer and creep up a little bit more on him on the championship table, with Max Deforny in 4th position. Again, a brilliant performance from Deforny, and him, that young driver, really putting in the show of the race, attacking Fenestraz, but just not managing to get through, whereas in Monaco he did manage to get through 2 times. As they say, he who dares wins. Sometimes he who dares doesn't quite get through, but really hats off to Max Deforny for putting in a great race there and really putting on a show for the public here at the Hungaroring. As they come in, the Tech Racing cars, we see the final table. Gabriel Aubrey from Tech 1 Racing winning from Will Palmer, Sacha Fenestraz in 3rd position, Max Deforny in 4th, Robert Schwartzman 5th, Max Vertrell 6th, Yifei Ye 7th, Alexandra Vartanyan in 8th position, Daniel Tichtum, yesterday's winner, in 9th position, ahead of Alexei Kornev in 10th, Neil Verhagen in 11th. The American driver who managed to get onto the podium yesterday. Fastest lap for Yifei Ye here today, 1:42.010 seconds. Yifei finishing in 7th position. showing there he can be very quick. Gabriel absolutely thrilled to the back teeth to have won here at the Nürburgring. And what a great performance in that first lap, getting through into the lead. Gabriel Aubry starting from second position. Sneaking through past Fenestraz in those first couple of corners, and then Will Palmer managing to slip through just behind as well. Fenestraz getting back into third position and not being able to get back up, but still having to hold off the attacks of Max de Forny, who started fourth and wanted to get through into third position and get up onto the podium. Just couldn't do it. Palmer happy to hang on to his championship lead. As we look at the table at the moment, Will Palmer still on the top in 106 with 162 points. Schwartzman 151. Fenestraz now 148. He had been hoping to get up a couple more points, but not quite so. De Forny now on 90 points in fourth position. So that's a great advance for Aubry. Aubry in fifth position on 89 points. De Forny on 90 points. Both of those drivers doing very well from today's points performance. As we hear from the race winner. Quick slow-mo of the cars coming through, and we know that down on the pit lane we have our team with the race winner.
Finally, yeah, it was just an incredible race. I took the perfect start, managed to catch Sasha in the first corner, and then everything went perfectly. I mean, I just drove, and I could drive for hours. The car was perfect. It was just amazing. When you make a race like this, it just makes you think, this is why I make motorsport. It was just perfect. I had really a lot of fun and just amazing. Sorry?
It's been a long time coming, but how much relief it is?
Just unbelievable. I'm really happy to confirm the win I made in Monza. That means that the championship was right. There was a lot of people, and I mean that I'm really on pace, and I'm a contender for all the race for the end of the year. Definitely more to come. Yes.
Definitely more to come. As we take a look back at the highlights of the race as they got off to an interesting start. We thought that Fenestraz was going to keep the lead, but Aubry sneaks through on the inside, just behind him, Will Palmer. And Fenestraz is pushed out on the outside on the first corner, letting Aubry and Palmer go through into the lead. Fenestraz attacking, trying to get back into his leading position, but just can't do it in the first lap. And as it is, Aubry and Palmer managed to hang on to the lead all the way through the race, the leading two positions. As Fertrell in car number 7 goes for a little slide. Also some great moments as we see the attack of Max de Forny on Sasha Fenestraz, really animating the race in the last third of this second race here in the Hungaroring. But as it is, it's Gabriel Aubry who takes this race with well over 4 seconds, 4.5 seconds over the rest of the field. Will Palmer in second position and Sasha Fenestraz in third. And as he said, more to come. We hope that Gabriel will be able to put in some more performances like that, really spicing up things a little bit here as well with the championship, showing that numerous drivers can be contenders for the #1 spot on the podium. Gabriel Aubry going through to take his second win of the season, ahead of Will Palmer, the championship leader, and Sasha Fenestraz in third. Tech 1 Racing boys cheering on their driver, Gabriel Aubry, as he mounts the podium with Fenestraz and Palmer. And the first rookie will be Max Fertrol, car number 7, who came in 6th position today. Our Race GP continuing to lead the championship standings. As we said, Aubry arriving in Budapest after last weekend racing in the Northern European Cup in Monza, where he won both races as well. Aubry is definitely going to be one to watch for the rest of the season. Beautiful weather conditions as the drivers mount the podium.
But he went to. Oh yes, yeah. 2-2 there was.
3 races this weekend. The first weekend with 3 races after a little hiatus after the Monaco event. 2 races today. Of course, a reminder that race 3, the podium, the grid will be decided by the second fastest times of qualifying 2 yesterday morning. Sasha Fenestraz and Will Palmer mounting, and a very happy Gabriel Aubry on the top step of the podium. Aubry lapping up the Marseillaise as the crew sings along with him on the podium. A very well-deserved win for Gabriel Aubry, the French driver in car number 4 from Tech 1 Racing, ahead of Will Palmer and Sasha Fenestraz. Max Fertrol, first rookie in 6th position, car number 7, Fertrol retaining his position as the top rookie in the championship. Will Palmer relieved to be in 2nd position, keeping those very important points for the championship. But it's still very close in the top 3. And anything could happen in the next races, keeping this wide open for the rest of the season. Number 1 rookie. And the team championship. Max Fertrol. top rookie. As it's the group photo and champagne time for the crews. A reminder that this afternoon's race will be taking place at 3:55 p.m. Race 3. The Eurocup Formula Renault 2.0 Eurocup Race 3 here at the Hungaroring. Until then, thanks for joining us this morning, and we'll see you later on today.
Vedo che è davvero vicino, eh.